So now, human rights activists in Malindi are demanding the arrest of a controversial pastor who was released on bail by a Malindi court. According to the rights activists, the release of the pastor will interfere with investigations. The pastor Paul Mackenzie Nthenge of Good News International Church is alleged to have forced his congregants to first to death, starting with children, then women, and finally men, with the promise that they will die peacefully before the world is cast by God. Beldin Waliaula reports.
The end is near. Controversial cleric Paul Mackenzie Nthenge is quoted as having told his congregants. This was his clarion call for his flock to fast as they prayed for the day of reckoning. However, his prophecy of the world ending landed him in court, with some of the flock said to have died out of hunger. The 47-year-old pastor appeared before Malindi resident magistrate Olga Onalo on Thursday morning. It is alleged that between March 16th and...
Have you noticed any suspicious activities around water infrastructure in your neighborhood? Well, the Water Services Regulatory Board, WASREB, in conjunction with the Ministry of...
There is a person who was radicalizing people, or rather brainwashing people, that they should starve their children to death.
Nthenge is no stranger to controversy. He was previously a visitor of the state, accused of incitement and disobedience of the law.
He used to operate a ministry here in Malindi in 2018, and he was arrested and charged for various offenses, and he closed that ministry.
Pastor of Good News International Church is alleged to have forced his congregants to fast to death, starting with children, then women, and finally men, with the promise that they will die peacefully before the world is cast by God. The controversial pastor was released by a Malindi court on a 10,000 bond. Human rights activists in Malindi want the man of cloth to be rearrested.
Mimi langu ni jamii ikaweze kusimama na kuhakikisha kuwa yule mhubiri, sheria inachukua hatua zake.
Ile ambavyo kunaendelea si mambo mazuri. Watoto wadogo wamezikwa. Ijapokuwa tuko na court order ya kusema bodies 2 peke yake ndio ziende zichimbuliwe na zitoke. Tuko very sure kwa zile bodies ni more than 10 zenye zimezikwa. Kwa sababu huyu pastor amekuwa pale kwa muda mrefu.
Sababu tunajua ya wale ambao wameshtakiwa wako na njama ya kuweza kutoa mili katika ile makaburi. Kwa hivyo exhumation ifanywe kwa haraka.
The pastor's iniquity were brought to light by a whistleblower and a relative whose brother's children allegedly died from starvation.
Wanafundishwa kwamba pastor amesema ya kwamba watoto wadogo, wazazi wafungie watoto wadogo, wazazi wapike chakula wale, lakini wasipe watoto wao. Watoto wafunge wakae njaa mpaka sasa wao hawasemi kuaga, wanasema kulala ndio ingie mbinguni.
The former faithful of Pastor Mackenzie now says his life is in danger after the expose.
Kashangaa hii inaweza kuwa ni imani ya jinsi gani? No wonder basi Mungu alinitoa, maana kama hiyo ni imani basi ni zaidi ya Al-Shabaab yamkini.
Beldin Waliaula, KTN News.
Sad incident right there. We hope justice will prevail for those children. Now, the national government will take stern action against individuals securing subsidized fertilizers, repackage and resell it in order to make quick money. Speaking at the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, Kitale Depot, when he inspected the distribution of subsidized fertilizers, Agriculture CS Mithika Linturi likened such unscrupulous business people as bandits and vowed that the government has mounted a crackdown to eliminate the vice. Linturi said the subsidized fertilizers is meant to help Kenyan farmers to increase production and reduce their high cost of living.
Farming is requiring, and we are going digital, because now we are getting, farming is not just any other type of joke. It is business like any other. I will not expect you to just now come in, apply for fertilizer, which you do not want to use, or if you are not a farmer. So anybody who is a serious farmer will apply for fertilizer that he wants to put into food production. So if you apply for fertilizer for you to go and pick and go and sell, you are a criminal. And you are just a bandit like the one that we are fighting in West Pokot. There is serious consensus in terms of meeting of mind ya vile tunataka kuangalia vile tunataka kupeleka nchi mbele. Sababu ngavana hapa Orendi ameweka milioni 54 ya kununulia wakulima mbegu. Nikipeana fertilizer, ngavana anapeana mbegu. There can never be any other better collaboration kuliko hii.
So now former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair has lauded Kenya's progress in expanding democratic space and entrenching transparency in all levels of leadership. Blair, who met Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi last evening in Nairobi, promised to continue working closely with the Kenya Kwanza administration through the Tony Blair Institute.
How are you? Fine, thanks. Yes, good to see you again. I'm told that you learned to move without sleeping. Okay. I'm hoping. All right. Dan. Hi, very nice to meet you. Hi. See you. Yeah, please come.
So now away from that, and amid the ongoing security operation in North Rift, 3 more people were killed early today in 2 separate attacks in Samburu and Turkana counties. 2 people were shot dead.